Hello there and welcome back to Memory Gamma. Today we're going to be continuing on with the smaller factions and we're going to have a look at the Mirror Universe. So, the Mirror Universe, as all of us, all the Star Trek fans would be aware, alternate dimension, same people, everything flipped over. We first see it in the original series and then obviously it carries through and it is most predominantly used in Deep Space Nine. Now, the Mirror Universe is a strange faction in that it's one faction for everything that is counted as Mirror Universe. So that includes everything from the original ISS Enterprise through to the Mirror ISS NX-01 Avenger in Enterprise, plus the USS Pasteur from the finale of Next Generation, the ISS Defiant and Regent's flagship. Also, the Kelvin timeline comes into Mirror Universe faction as well as several ships who are not technically Mirror factioned, but are named Mirror faction, including the Galor class Prakesh, which is a Mirror Universe ship in this game. However, it is the Prime Universe ship that Dukat escapes from Cardassia with the Jitaba Council members in Way of the Warrior. So, we have an awful lot of options in this, and there's an awful lot of era mixing, but it's all one faction, and everything is concurrent with everything else, because it's a Mirror Universe. So, Mirror Universe is good at several things. Mostly, it's lots of offensive abilities. Lots of them get bonus actions, extra damage, multiple firings, that sort of thing. Also, several Mirror Universe ships have got slightly increased stat lines given compared to their Prime Universe counterparts. So, for example, this is the Regent's flagship. It is a Mirror Universe Negvar class. Not only does it have an increased hull value, it has a different maneuver dial. So instead of having the 3 come about, which a Negvar has in the Prime, this goes 5 straight. Much more offensive, but less maneuverable. The ISS Defiant comes with 4 attack dice as standard in the Mirror, but compared to the 3 of the Prime Universe, because it's much more of a dedicated full warship with none of the Federation, preponderance for putting in support systems. So, we're going to have a look. We're going to make a Mirror Universe ship, and we're going to see what we can do. So, there are now. There is a ship here which I'm particularly fond of. It is Kiana Prime, which is the Krenin weapon ship from Year of Hell in Voyager. We're going to do a separate video just for that because I think it's an amazing ship and a lot can be done with it. So we're going to have a look at just some ships and see if one pops out. So, Regent's flagship, you get to make 2 attacks at range 1 with 4 dice each, instead of 1 attack. Basically means that you're making 2 attacks at range 1 with still 5 dice because it's a prime weapon attack, so a range bonus still affects. The Terex is a Dederidex class that gets a scan action as a free action if you do a green maneuver. Assimilation Target Prime. Now this is Mirror Borg. This is the Assimilated Galaxy class. You may notice it comes with 5 attack rather than 4 attack. That is more because it's Borg than because of its Mirror Universeness. The Tokat is a Vochar class. Action gets scan token. You have Mirror Universe Enterprise D. Yes, there's Enterprise / All Good Things Mirror Universe Enterprise. It's not the Dreadnought class Enterprise we see with the 3rd nacelle and the Spinal Phaser Lance. But it's a very, very offensive ship. And importantly, it is still a Galaxy class. So there are several cards which have come in the newer pack which are locked to Galaxy class ships, which you can put onto this and still get the effect. You'll pay a cost for them because they're not the same faction, but it's the same ship class. There is the Enterprise A in the Kelvin timeline, as well as the Enterprise. There is the Prakesh, the Galor class. We've got... This is Year of Hell Voyager. So, Federation Mirror, and you get any number of upgrades you like that are 2 points cheaper. However, for every one that you make cheaper, you suffer a point of damage at the start of the game. There's the Mirror Defiant, 4233 compared to the 3234, so it trades a shield for an attack dice. And you can Orcs Power token yourself to reduce the damage taken by 1 whenever you defend. the Pasteur. Now, the Pasteur is the Olympic-class medical ship from All Good Things, captained by Beverly Pickard. It's a one-attack dice ship. It's a Galaxy class with 1 dice. It's not a warship, but it gets battle stations, scan, evade, double crew, double tech. It's a nice ship. It can make a very good support ship. Then we've got the I.S.S. Enterprise, Constitution class, double crew, double weapon tech, and a bonus attack dice whenever you fire at something which you already have target locked. Then we're going into the Defiant 1764. This is the one that's seen in the NX era that falls through the interphasic rift, the Tholians and that sort of thing. You have the Kelvin Timeline Warbirds, the Souvul and the Aymar. Generic ships. Then you've got the generic Avenger, and then that's all of them. I think the I.S.S. Enterprise, it gives us the best sort of like base value. It's a Constitution class for a start. So you get the cool maneuver dial, you get 180 firing arc, you get a tech slot, which a lot of connies don't get to start with. So let's have a look at captains. Now, again, Anorax came with the Kiana Prime. You've got Christopher Pike. He adds a crew slot and he can flip specialization cards. I'm going to do a separate video about the Kelvin timeline because there's some special rules which only really work with the Kelvin timeline cards. Mr. Spock. Evil Mr. Goatee Spock. Start the activation phase, you may perform the actions on one of your upgrades as a free action. If you do, place an Orcs Power Token beside your ship. So, you do it. It's got to be an upgrade action. Can't be an action bar action. And then you get an Orcs Power Token. But because that's at the start of the activation phase, you could then do a green move and be able to act normally. So, there's a lot of potential there. You are reduced to doing green maneuvers if you want to do the double action. But it's also a way of, if you know you have to do a red maneuver, he allows you to do the action before you move. I'll put him on just as a placeholder, but we'll have a quick look. You've got a couple of Rikers. This is the one that is from All Good Things. He also double sides as an Admiral. That allows you to scan and then another action on your action bar. The other one is every time you perform battle stations, evade or target lock, you get to place another one of those tokens on him and you can spend them later for free actions. Vosk, the Nakul from NX. This is Kelvin Kirk, Mirror Universe Core, Kelvin Spock. There's a lot of the Kelvin people in here. You've also got a Worf. You've got a Mirror Jonathan Archer from the Defiant 1764 pack. He's nice offensively. You get to convert 1 crit into 2 hits for an Orcs Power Token. In the compare results step, so you'll roll your dice, they'll roll their dice. You go, right, now comparing results, you can discard you can change one of your crits for 2 separate hits, meaning there's an additional damage. It sort of turns your crit into a guaranteed direct hit, but they get a chance to cancel both of them. But it means you might do some damage. He's quite nice. Mirror James Kirk, just disable stuff for bonuses. Beverly Crusher's a nice one. You do a green maneuver, you get to convert a battle station into an evade every time you defend. So if you're moving slowly, she gets you some passive defensives. O'Brien gets to repair things. Okay, without going through every single one of them, I think we'll stick with Mr. Spock. Not only because is he a bit thematic, also because he's probably one of the best. So we've got, now we need some upgrade that actually have actions on them for us to be able to use Mr. Spock. So, Chekhov, don't use Chekhov, he's really not good in the situation. You have to discard him and your captain card to get a single action bar action as a free action. And that's at the start of the activation phase. Ouch. Assault Team is a boarding party. You've got Tybeck is another boarding party. Hikaru Sulu is actually a good one because he allows you to target lock and take an action bar action as a free action. So you can do Sulu's action, do a target lock, and then say a battle stations, and that's all done with Mr. Spock's ability. Take an Orcs Power Token, do a green move, and you've got your action back. Now, Sulu does have to be disabled to do this action. However, there is Alyssa Ogawa. Now, she, as an action, can remove the disable token from one of your crew or tech upgrades and then perform a scan or evade as a free action. So you can free action Sulu to do target lock battle stations, Then actual action Ogawa, she re-enabled Sulu, and you get to do a scan or an evade. So now you've got 3 of your 4 action bar actions in one turn, and it's a self sort of like reviving. As long as you've got your action free, you can always use Ogawa to get Sulu back. That's a nice little combination. So, we've got the 2 crew. Let's move on to do some tech and weapons. Now, construction upgrades, we don't get any in the Mirror Universe. We could put on the ablative generator. It doesn't cost a faction penalty. It gives us some bonus defenses, but I think we'll just leave that for a bit. We've also got our admiral slot to fill in as well, and our talent slots. Let's go for a tech. Now, some of these tech are locked to a particular ship. Most of these are locked to the Krenin warship. Multi-targeting phaser banks is a nice one. It allows you, when you target lock someone, you can disable the cards to acquire 2 target locks on 2 different ships. So it gets some more use out of Sulu, allowing you to target lock multiple people. Temporal Conduit allows you to redeploy a discarded upgrade, provided it costs 4 or less, which is nice. It means if you spent something, you can get it back. Temporal Shields. Now, Temporal Shielding is a modern card, but Mirror Universe, dual faction. It increases your shields by 1. Your shields can't be ignored by weapon attacks. So any weapon card that says ignore enemy shields, you can't. And as long as you've got your shields up, you get to remove an additional time token from any one card equipped to your ship. So something that says have 3 time tokens on. In the end phase, you remove 1 normally, and then another 1 if you've got temporal shielding. Not a bad shout. Gives you some gives you an extra shield, a little bit more survivability, and while your shields are up for the first couple of turns, some faster recharging. The enhanced hull plating. Now, this is the old version of the enhanced hull plating. This is the one that hasn't been errated and changed to the new version. This is for any Mirror Universe ship with a hull value of 4 or less, and it works the old way. So in the roll defense dice step, you get to take a pair of evade results for a pair of Orcs power tokens, 1 evade per Orcs power token. However, it's a once per round, so you can't do it every single attack. You have to do it on one of your attacks if you're getting multiple attacks. And yeah, so it's not as good as the old one, as the new one, sorry, but it is still good if you're gonna, if you need to survive. Better be alive with Orcs power than dead. Emergency bulkhead's a good one for repair. You can put a cloaking device on. We have just a generic 4-point Mirror Universe cloaking device, which is really nice. But again, I don't know if we want to be cloaking the Enterprise, but you would get to sensor echo. You would get a sensor echo if you wanted to. So we could look at cloaking the Enterprise. Impulse Drive allows you to go faster, and it allows you to, treat white maneuvers as green or red maneuvers as white, provided you do a 1, 2, or 3 straight or bank. Agony Booth, you can discard to do a free crew action, even if that crew is disabled. Integrated Future Tech allows you to hide a tech upgrade underneath it and then reveal it later on. And it also gives you a faction penalty ignoring for Romulan and Borg weapon and tech. Reactor Core, Klingon cloaking device is locked to a Klingon ship. The transport beaming device is only useful if you're sending stuff over. I think we're going to go... Do we do it for a cloak? We could cloak the Enterprise? No, okay, let's go for the temporal shielding. Allows us just to give an extra shield and some recharging. Now, weapons. We're Mirror Universe, we get weapons. There's some nice stuff in here. There's also some very expensive stuff and some not very good stuff. So we've got things like quantum torpedoes. They're just 5 dice. But the special rule of the ship is when you fire at a ship you've already got target locked, you get an extra attack dice. There is a ruling which states that if you have to spend the target lock to fire the weapon, you still get to add the bonus dice because you had them target locked. So those quantum torpedoes would be 6 dice when fired from the Enterprise. Not a bad attack. It is 6 points, however. Same for all of the rest of these quantum torpedoes. We have transphasic torpedoes here. Now, they're a video almost all to themselves with how ridiculously overpowered they are. I'm not going to use them here. Very, very quick run through. Anybody that plays the game and plays the modern stuff will know these things and know they are sometimes the bane of a ship's existence. We've got a forward weapons grid. It's 6 dice, which you've got to split between 2 targets. So again, photon torpedoes, rear firing ones. We've got And then you've got low-level weapons for being able to fire. That's all they've got. They really don't have an awful lot of weapons. They just use a lot of them repeatedly. So, we want something to give us a bit of a punch. So, we could do some quantum torpedoes. There's 6 dice, but you would get 6 points, but you would get 6 dice thanks to the ability of the ship. And when you factor in also you're going to have a battle stations token and maybe a scan, they might going to do some serious damage. Other one, I think we could do a dorsal weapons array. It gives us a 360 fire. It is a disable, but it gives us a 360 firing to use that rear fire, to use that, you know, the back 180. Then let's go for an admiral. Now, there are some admirals which are good, some admirals which aren't. Here they are. So you've got Admiral Pike, he adds a crew slot, flipping specialization cards, best used when you're using all the Kelvin crew. This Riker here gives you a scan action and then another action bar action as a free action. Black gives you a sensor echo, and you get to reroll on your blank results when defending every time you defend that round. Now that's quite nice. You do get an Orcs power token, however. But for a sensor echo and some defensive quality, not a bad shout. Then you've got Gardner and Worf. Worf's only really useful in a fleet. But if we go black, it gives us some more maneuver options. We get a second talent slot. So, Tantalus Field. Now, this is the one we're going to put on here. It can only be equipped to this particular ship, the I.S.S. Enterprise. But as an action, you disable the Tantalus Field, pick a ship at range 1. You get to discard either their captain or a crew upgrade. Your choice. You get an Orcs power token and you can't do any free actions in the round you perform this action, which does mean you cannot trigger the Tantalus Field using Spock's free action, because it would be itself a free action. You're not allowed to perform free actions on the round you do this. So that has to be the only thing you do that round. But not a bad idea. And also it's unique to the I.S.S. Enterprise, so we're going to put it on here. Other talents. We've got Covert Mission, allows us to steal stuff off of an enemy ship. Deception gets you a battle stations token at the start of the combat phase. We could do Strafing Run, which is if you go really fast, you get to do a free attack as an action with 4 dice, and you get to pick someone that's not in your firing arc. So you get to do a shot out of the rear 180 with 4 dice. Rebellion's good against defending against big ships. We won't go back is if you get targeted by an ability that would affect something on your ship, you get to make a free attack. If they are destroyed by that free attack, then the upgrade doesn't take effect. So it gets a free attack fundamentally, and on the off chance you kill the thing that was trying to affect you, then, you know, the effect doesn't happen. The Benefactor. When you're required to remove place time tokens on an upgrade, you can discard mission tokens off of here instead of putting time tokens on. Starfleet Intelligence, discard the card to reroll any number of attack or defense dice. Make it so you can discard this and disable a crew upgrade for an additional action this round. Yellow Alert or the Intendant's Orders. I think we're going to go with the Yellow Alert. It gives us a one-time discard for an evade or a battle stations. It's sort of like invaluable advice, but it's a bit more widely useful because it's evade or battle stations. So, here's the ship. 57 points. We are very much on the lots of actions. So Hikaru Sulu and Alyssa Ogawa with Mr. Spock allows you to do target lock and then any 2 of battle stations evade and scan every turn. And then when you really need to, the Tantalus Field can trigger to kill somebody. You've got a bonus shield from the temporals. You've also got some potential bonus damage from the quantums, as well as some maneuverability with black and some 365 with a dorsal weapons array. So, again, I say this every single time. Not the most powerful, but this is dangerous. It will fly around. Now, obviously, you'd have to take some bits off. You could modify some bits. You don't have to bring the Tantalus Field if you think it's not worth it. This is the only ship in the game where you can bring that card, so we might as well put it on there since we're doing this ship. And it is a really nice upgrade because it's a targeted discharge captain or crew, and you can choose. And it's only a disable, which means you could then next round do action re-enable, and then you could do this every other round, provided you're at range 1. So, this is the Mirror Universe. The Mirror Universe has a wide variety of different ships and a lot of different upgrades. I will go into some of the other specifics in different videos, as well as a Kelvin timeline video just in itself. Obviously, if you have any particular requests for a named ship or a particular character you want to see a ship built around, drop it in the comments and I'll get to it and do a video on it. Otherwise, thank you very much.